53. Domain Name System, DNS. DNS, or the Domain Name System, is often called the phone book of the Internet. Its primary job is to translate human-readable domain names, like google.com, into the machine-readable IP addresses, like 142250190046, that computers use to find each other on a network. For your certification exams, the most critical takeaway is that DNS operates on port 53 and primarily uses UDP, User Datagram Protocol, for its speed, though it can use TCP for larger data transfers. Why do we need DNS? Computers communicate using numbers, but humans are much better at remembering names. Without DNS, you would have to memorize a string of numbers for every website you wanted to visit. When you type a URL into your browser, your computer becomes a DNS resolver. It sends a query out to a DNS server asking, "What is the IP address for this name?" The server looks it up and sends the number back so your browser can load the site. The DNS hierarchy. DNS doesn't live on just one server. It is a distributed, hierarchical system that works in stages. The recursive resolver, usually provided by your ISP or a public provider like Google, 8888. This is the first stop for your query. Root name servers. These sit at the top of the hierarchy. They don't know the IP address, but they know where the TLD, top-level domain, servers are. TLD name servers. These manage specific extensions like com, org, or edu. Authoritative name servers. This is the final stop. This server holds the actual, a record for the domain, and provides the IP address back to the resolver. Critical DNS record types. As a technician, you will spend a lot of time managing specific records within a DNS zone file. You should memorize these for the A+ exam. A record maps a hostname to an IP4 address. AAAA record maps a hostname to an IP6 address. CNAME, canonical name, an alias. It points one domain name to another, e.g., www, example, com points to example.com. MX, mail exchanger, tells the Internet which mail server is responsible for receiving email for that domain. Crucial for the SMTP setup we discussed. TXT record, used for various administrative tasks, such as proving you own a domain or setting up SPF and DKIM to prevent email spam. DNS and cybersecurity. Because DNS is the foundation of how we find things on the Internet, it is a massive target for attackers. In your cybersecurity studies, you will encounter these common threats. DNS poisoning, spoofing. An attacker introduces false information into a DNS resolver's cache. When you try to go to your bank's website, the poisoned resolver sends you to a fake phishing site instead. DNS tunneling, a method used by hackers to sneak data out of a network, exfiltration, by hiding it inside DNS queries, which are often ignored by traditional firewalls. DNSSEC, a suite of extensions that add digital signatures to DNS records, ensuring that the information you receive is authentic and hasn't been tampered with. Summary for your studies. Protocol, domain name system. Port 53. Primary transport, UDP, fast, connectionless. Role, translates names to IP addresses.